Hey guys, red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Very good. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro-Negro channel. If you're new, please follow, like, and share on all platforms, and subscribe on YouTube below. Enable the bell notification and give the video a like. We're here once again as champions of the Americas, champions of the Derby of the Americas. What a wonderful title. Another international title for Flamengo. Flamengo keeps increasing its list of national and international titles. Now we have the press conference, the mixed zone, everything to bring to you right now. Coverage by Gabriel Orfon directly from Doha, Qatar at the Al Hamad Stadium where Al Hayyan plays its matches. Flamengo was the champion. The pitch there was a bit tricky. The ball moved too fast. Flamengo has to adapt to this kind of pitch. Anyway, Flamengo had some difficulties in the first half, but then managed to find themselves in the second half and got a victory with a beautiful performance by Arrascaeta. Man, I'm gonna react here real quick. Before we bring our materials directly from there, it's important to let you know if you're just arriving here, first with 1,000,000 Picks, which is a benefits club that you join in exchange for products and experiences, you also get lucky numbers. Compete for up to 100,000 reais in instant prizes. Scratch to win and the money is sent directly to your account. And on top of that, you also have a chance to win 3 prizes of 1,000,000 reais each. On the 31st, it's the New Year's Eve prize, and on the 2nd, another 2,000,000 reais. That's 5,000,000 reais you're in the running for. By buying your points from the Benefits Club, you also get the chance to participate in these prize draws. It's always tough, but it could happen to you. The QR code will stay on the screen, so check it out. Let's check out what Arrascaeta said after the title here. Credits, Flamengo Television, check it out. Milano's okay. Look, Milano, he's out. Milano is amazing. He's Otto's newborn son, born around the same time. I think he was born a day after Otto. Not on the 5th, on the 2nd, so 3 days after Otto. Otto has seen Flamengo win the Brazilian championship before birth. Milano saw the first title today, saw it, right, in quotes, but he's following daddy's energy. Yeah, look at that. Leo Pereira also said, look here.
Yeah.
Thanks. Awesome. Let's keep going. Big hug. One more thing. Come here. I don't think you should get discouraged. It won't happen. Okay, Pedro. Hey, Big Pedro, you posted it. So I want more. There's still some left. That's how I feel. Man, Pedro still has De La Cruz over there. Damn, Jorginho. Flamengo is racking up medals, right? Going. It's being Goto's hand. It's a game with Nene Henrique, right? And Pedro posted. Man, yeah, Flamengo also posted here. It's really cool. Look, here it is. Look at this spectacular trophy, man. What a spectacular trophy. This one is impressive. Man, that's awesome. And we have it here too, right? A ninja, an honest one. Let's listen here. The others are desperate, right?
Look, he jinxed Mango. He jinxed it wrong, idiot. Look.
Follow the full coverage on Flamengo social media. Go there. It's Ninja, the sincere one, who's been really funny lately. Flamengo posting videos of Ninja, the sincere one. Now live coverage from Gabriel Orfon at the stadium for the Derby of the Americas final. Flamengo are champions again, marking Felipe Luis's 6th title.
The logic, first of all, for me, is about the victory.
Did you see that?
On your
Celebration.
Of the first goal.
When did you pay tribute to your son? Send a message to Milano, Camila, and Madrugada.
I'm sure you guys are going to tease them, Flamengo and Milano. I'm sure they're very happy they're at home.
Richard Souza, Television Globo, congratulations on the goal and the qualification. Do these numbers impress you when you look at them?
25 goals in 62 matches.
It's like your best professional moment meeting your best personal moment. We can say that.
I'm sure it's a great moment both for me and for the team. And we are very happy to experience this moment with all these teammates in a year that was so special for us.
Scratch there. Good evening. Congratulations on the victory, Fernando Valente de Barro. Leaving soccer aside, define your game for me today. Tell me how I did, your match today, how decisive you were, and give me a perspective for the next game against Pyramids. Thank you.
I know when to stop. I just know that I'm very happy because we achieved our goal, which was the most important thing. To win the game, regardless of who scored the goal. And starting tomorrow, we'll already begin thinking about our next opponent, studying how the game will be.
It will definitely be a very tough game.
Thank you, Arrascaeta.
I'm Bruno from Television Record. I wanted to ask you if...
You already feel comfortable in Qatar.
This isn't your first time here. You come from Flamengo and the Uruguayan national team, which brings you good memories. But tell me, what's different about this Flamengo compared to that 2019 Flamengo? I have people here.
Happy to be here, but with my mind set, the goal is first to reach the final, then we'll try to become champions. Each team has its own characteristics, its own values, and they're different players too. I'm sure he's a guy who dedicates himself a lot to working. And we're at the end of a season with great achievements, and there he is fighting for a dream, which is to be a champion.
Can you tell me more about Flamengo's first half performance?
We ended up struggling a little more than I think everyone expected. Explain a little bit the reasons for this performance so I can understand.
The youth team in the first half, 78 matches.
18 hours of travel, training, there are many factors. Sleeping in a Flamengo time zone, there are a lot of things. We always try to give our best, not just us, but also the teams. For sure, at some moments they made mistakes and we managed to score a goal. The most important thing is to fix it for the next game, so we can be better in the match.
Yeah, man. Flamengo's performance changed between the first and second half. You wouldn't pick the first combo since better options exist, so what do you think? What happened in the first half that caused Flamengo so much trouble, which they managed to fix in the second half? Thank you.
I believe that in the first half they
Had a different attitude than the second half. They created difficulties because of the pressure they were putting on us, and maybe also because of some tactical points where we weren't finding the right positions to get out of the pressure, which was really strong, so we ended up playing long balls, and sometimes we weren't getting the second ball. Positioning between the lines was sometimes wrong, with the pressure, the ball control, which is a completely different ball, and the field. So several factors made it a bit more difficult for us in the first half. In the second half, we were able to talk during the break and adjust those tactical things. We ended up being able to raise our team's intensity, which I believe completely changed the game, and we ended up deserving it.
Jorge Liga de Souza had a strong competition and a good night.
Congrats on qualifying.
Let me take advantage of your experience, Jorge, of having played with so many players of different nationalities throughout your entire career.
I wanted to hear your thoughts on Arrascaeta, who is having a season with so many positive stats and is such an important part of this team, which has so many strengths.
Thank you, you're welcome. Talk about Arrascaeta. The guy is having a wonderful year, a magical moment in his career, and we just have to be grateful. And I even joked with him that even when he doesn't want to score, the ball comes back to him. So this moment is amazing. He has to make the most of it, and we have to make the most of it, but he's a very unique player with incredible skill, game understanding, and intelligence. So I believe it's just words of praise. And we really have to compete. I have to compete to be able to play with players of such high quality who really make themselves available to the team. And he deserves everything that's happening, both him and all the other players who are really putting Flamengo first. And things end up coming your way, so it's everyone's achievement. All of this that's happening together.
It's when we talk to Flamengo.
We Flamengo a lot. You're a world champion.
You already know the ways to win this tournament. You've also talked a lot about this energy group, about not making mistakes. It's really a special group in that aspect.
I'd like you to talk a little more about that, because this group has what it takes to make Flamengo's history.
That's pretty much what I just said. Is something you feel is something that's hard to explain. You feel an energy. It's an energy that transmits something inside the locker room, inside the training center, where you just feel it. It's hard not to notice it. There are things that happen and that you enjoy this moment. You like being with the people who are there. You have moments of joy, of pleasure there, being together, joking around, talking. And at the end of that,
everything ends and is passed on.
And it ends up spreading more and more because you see that it's something. As someone who's on the bench does something really good, but they're happy for that player, for the success of the whole team. So that's something really wonderful and really cool.
Leo Ortiz is going to talk to the press. Leo Ortiz, who got back to playing today, thank God. I felt good, though I'm always a bit worried returning after an injury. And an ankle injury isn't something. I've never had an ankle injury in my career, so coming back feels strange, but I felt really good getting back to my level, even though I'm still working on my rhythm. I still need a few more games to maybe get back to my natural form, but I felt good. I was happy to be able to come back. It had been a while since I was able to play, so being part of it again, being back, that's who I am. People say I'm important, but returning and being on the field made me feel it. So I'm very happy for the win and for this qualification that I achieved.
In the first half, it was complicated for us up there. It felt like the ball was slipping away, that you were making mistakes you don't usually make.
The field and the ball have already been topics here in this post-game. In your view, what exactly was it that you all had the most difficulty adapting to?
A debut is always like this, no matter the championship. And we see historically the way South Americans have difficulty. In the first half of World Cup quarterfinals usually, because you face teams you don't know, so at the beginning you have these difficulties. Of course, the ball is different, the field is very good, And maybe that's why sometimes it even surprises us and we end up having to adapt. But I think we have to be careful because 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 we have to be careful. Because we have to be careful, 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 because we have to be careful. In the game, and then from the second half on, I think we pretty much completely dominated the game. And then at the end, they had a bit more momentum as a result of the score, and because they started putting the ball into the box. In the first half, we were a bit behind, but I didn't see much superiority. In the second half, we controlled the game well and could have done more.
Leo, too. On this, Felipe said in the press conference that an empty stadium might be a reason, right? For some mistakes. Is it different for you? Flamengo is used to playing with a packed house, and today there were only 7,000 fans. Did that affect your concentration a bit, something like that?
I think so. The atmosphere can also be a factor. As I mentioned, several things that could influence this soon. Not a very good start in the game. And what about in a World Cup quarterfinal, not having a full stadium? I think there were about 7,000 people, right? It's strange, isn't it? But we're used to it, and I think Cruz Azul is as well. In the Mexican Championship, Mexicans are really passionate, the fans are very strong, so I don't think they've experienced this either. So it's a strange atmosphere, I think, for everyone in the stadium, so that could have been a factor too. I think it influenced the way we started the game.
For you and for Leo Pereira, who depend a lot on positioning, on kind of predicting what the opponent is going to do all the time, because it's harder to face a team you don't have much experience with, that you don't watch many games of, that you don't know the players. It's more complicated for you.
I think that's more of a study, right? The teams we face in Brazil. Normally, we're already more used to it and more adapted, and we already know most of the characteristics of each player. About the players we're going to face now, we usually have, I don't know, a little more. Now, for the Cruz Azul game, you had about a week to study, to understand the way they play. So sometimes that causes a bit more delay to get to know them on the field, to understand their movements, where the player attacks the most. If he aims more for the feet and seeks depth, it takes longer to understand. Precisely because you don't know them like the players in Brazil who we're used to playing with many times.
We didn't get to talk to you after the Libertadores final, but I'd like to know how it was. Did you see Danilo's goal, your fellow defender, become part of Flamengo's history by scoring such an important goal for the club?
Man, with a lot of happiness, really. A lot of happiness. Because, like I said, people even said, imagine if it was you. But I think destiny was set for this to happen, for Philly and me to have made those decisions on the day of the match there, so that he would choose Danilo later to play and for everything to happen. So I think destiny was set for this to happen, for it to be his goal. I'm really happy. I think everyone is a champion, right? Everyone is a champion. Obviously, his goal will be remembered in history forever. In the end, every champion with Flamengo is remembered in history, and that's what matters most.
That made us keep the ball on the ground more in the second half and not find the passes. No, and getting closer. More fantastic when it comes to finishing, giving. So I think those were the points we were able to see during that period, which gave us the win in the second half.
Bruno, I changed the television. It sounded like a gunshot, man. In the last 4 games, Flamengo won 3 titles. How is it for you guys, this thing of every game, all these recent decisive games, winning trophies? How is the squad reacting to all this, to all these important and decisive games? In the final stretch?
Thank you. We always that Flamengo is the title of all titles. To face a match like a final, that's the goal of the whole team. When it comes to medals, whether you trade them or not, that's what everyone thinks. And today, once again, it was a very tough game, which was about a medal and also a title. And consequently, not about the next stage of the World Cup. So we were very happy to have won today and to take another step forward. That's the one I remember.
Even the Pyramid of Egypt, thank you.
Look at the anxiety. It's present in every game, in the Carioca, in the Brasileiro, in the betting shops. Of course, the World Cup is different, but we managed to focus only on the game. We knew very well how important it was to win, to get past the next opponent, and now it's time to rest and be ready. We had to prepare well for the next game, which is also a very tough match, and we know there are no easy games in the World Cup.
Bruno, let's put a little bit here on the palm of your finger, Bruno.
In your view, what is so beautiful here? What is different that can conquer the world? Is history being made here?
I think we have to do what we've been doing all year long. That's our understanding, that's our life. Now, there's nothing more we can add. What we put in, in our minds is that everyone is focused, everyone is ready for any moment. This is the ultimate World Cup goal, so everyone is prepared, everyone is focused. I think we are fully capable of winning the World Cup.
The World Cup is good.
I wish it wasn't me, but it has to be. Madrigal usually plays for small, sick crowds, but today the World Cup has 7,000 people. How does that feel?
I'm going to play in an emptier stadium.
If you believe that now we're in the semi-finals, more people will come, and if we make it to the final, we might see an invasion.
Look, I'm going to talk about the World Cup, right? We expect a bigger crowd. Such a beautiful World Cup stadium deserves to be full of people, but Romeo didn't show up much. But we also believe, because the foundation is those who know how to be present. And today, the few Flamengo fans who were here helped us a lot. I'm sure that the next game will have more Flamengo fans, and that's what we want. For them to show up and go with us for the next victory.
See you next time.
Flamengo is going to help in these decisive moments, and they're delivering when we need them the most.
And when we talk about such a high number of games, remembering that there's still one more before a possible final? Being in this stage to get more minutes and to be delivering is fundamental. Suddenly, another opportunity to rotate the team there.
We have to think game by game like we did today, but obviously there's some anxiety. We have to focus on the present now. Henrique is qualified for the next game against Pyramides and is already in the semifinals. Go ahead. We're going to be careful, obviously, but there's that anxiety deep down of already thinking about the final. Like I said, we're going to prepare for this game so that we can get there in the best possible shape to beat them, just like we did at the Super World Cup with Chelsea and faced Bayern on equal footing.
Do you admire any players like Hakimi, who is one of the world's top fullbacks and a great person?
Exactly. Dembele is the guy I really like. He's also great one-on-one. I really like players with that style. Duet is also a great player. I can say that almost the entire Paris Saint-Germain team is made up of extremely high-quality players, but their squad isn't as big or as qualified as ours. You know that everyone is important, so I always try to be at my best pace, so that when the fans need me to deliver, whether starting the game or coming in during the second half, that's been my intention. I have a stat, I get the job done.
Here's some trivia. Junior said during our broadcast that the field feels really fast. Did you notice that too?
The field really is that good, and it's something you all need to adapt to.
Absolutely, we discussed that in the locker room. The first minutes were tough. We missed passes, the ball was fast, and the field was quick. Obviously, that's not an excuse, but we're not used to this kind of field in Brazil, so it makes things a bit harder. But we definitely prefer much more to play on a field like this than on the fields we have in Brazil. But it's really a matter of adaptation. The field we've been training on is like this too, so we have to adapt as quickly as possible.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
To understand picking up on that, talking about the good fields in Brazil, what's the difference compared to the good fields that are under control?
Now, for example, with this field here, man.
In Brazil, I think Arena Corinthians is the field most similar to this one. Personally, I believe it's the best field in Brazil. Yeah, our grass is a bit different. Maybe because of the climate. It's also hot here, but our grass is drier. And here, apparently just like at Arena Corinthians, for example, they water the field a lot, and that ends up making the field faster. It makes things a bit easier for those who are used to it, obviously, but there's quite a difference. So during the game, it becomes a much faster match. For a skilled team that values possession, this is very helpful.
Cebola fans were chanting for you today, even while you were on the bench. How did it feel to hear their support? Through this process, you're regaining your spot at Flamengo.
Man, I'm really happy because it's mutual, right? So whenever I see that in some other games too, I try to go in and deliver, right? Deliver. It wasn't just my expectations, but the fans as well. I helped again today. I'm happy with this trust because it gives me even more confidence to keep going and keep showing my work.
It's Arrascaeta. He's a very important player. He's always been very important wherever he's played, whether in clubs or for the Uruguay national team. Arrascaeta has it. He has the quality that allows him to play on any team in the world. He's going through a great phase. That's good for him and for us, for our group as well. Well, Flamengo was very successful with their signings and in keeping their players. So today, We're at a high level, whether it's in Brazil or when we face teams outside of Brazil. We also show our strength. Especially also against Bayern, which is an excellent team. We managed to play well here in the match. But talking about Arrascaeta, I hope he keeps up this great form, not just for himself, but for us as well. Perfect, thank you. Good night. Never relaxed, right? But more prepared. I think that's the right word. We knew it was going to be a tough game. Also, because of the trip, the schedules and everything else, the other team went through that too. But when you face a team that plays man-to-man marking all over the field, it always makes things a bit harder. However, we were prepared, we trained, we had practiced for that. The important thing is that we came out with the win, and this victory, today's game, prepares us even more for the next match. Now it's time to rest and start focusing on the next match.
In Brazil, Felipe said the Cruz Azul game would be tougher, mainly due to the opponent's quality and other factors.
Now we're facing an African team, physically strong and with 2 games already played in this competition. What are your expectations?
The expectation is that it will be a very tough game as well, because it's a game that is for the trophy, so every game that's for a trophy ends up being more difficult. Also, we know that if we lose this game, we go back home, and that's what we don't want. We're going to play a different game like we've been doing since the start of the season. We have our game plan and we always study our opponent very well, and I'm sure we'll be well prepared.
Alexandre Cebolinha said the team needed time to adapt to the very good field. But in Brazilian soccer, there isn't a field similar to the one we found here. So it took some time to adapt. Although it's very good that really happened, it seems like it was a good conversation. They didn't even leave it at that point.
It could be that this was for some individual players, if they could sign a contract. I wish I had a field every day for training and for games. A wonderful field. Let this serve as an example for all leagues, so it can always be like this.
Did you not find any field like this in the Brasileirão you played in?
Well, the most similar one might be Corinthians' field. I think it can be considered the best field in Brazil. Internationals is also very good. Morumbi also has a great field. I hope that one day we can standardize good fields in Brazil.
Alexandra, we've been seeing a lot of this incredible phase.